Good morning, student. As we completed Unit 1 textbook portion, now we will going to start workbook portion of Unit 1. So let's begin. Read the passage given below and answer the questions that follow. The king turned round and saw a bearded man running towards them. His hands were pressed against his stomach, from which blood was flowing. When he reached the king, he fainted and fell to the ground. The king and the hermit removed the man's clothing and found a large wound in his stomach. The king washed and covered it with his handkerchief, but the blood would not stop flowing. The king redressed the wound until at last the bleeding stopped. So, passage is given and we have to find it out, answer from the given passage. Question 1. What did the king see? Answer. The king saw a bearded man running towards them. Question 2. What had happened to the bearded man? Answer 2. The bearded man was wounded. Blood was flowing from his stomach. Question 3. Why did the man fall to the ground? Answer. Blood was flowing from the stomach of the bearded man, so he fainted and fell to the ground. Question 4. What did the king and the hermit find on removing the man's clothing? On removing the man's clothing, the king and the hermit found a large wound in his stomach. Question 5. What did the king do with his handkerchief? Answer. The king washed and covered the wound with his handkerchief. Question 6. How did the man's bleeding stop at last? Answer. The man's bleeding stopped at last when the king redressed the wound. 7. Which word in the passage means pushed closely and firmly? So, from the passage, we have to find out the word which means pushed closely and firmly. So, the word is given from the starting in the fourth line, pressed. His hands were pressed against his stomach. So, word is pressed. Now, next question. Read these lines and answer the questions that follow. He wore a question mark for tail, an overcoat of grey. He sat up straight to eat a nut. He liked to tease and play. So, as we completed Unit 1 explanation portion, and now we know very well that what was the poem. The poem is about the squirrel whatever the poet experiences about relating to the squirrel, poet shares with us in the poem The Squirrel. So now one paragraph is given and some questions are given. We have to find out the answer from the given paragraph. So first of all, name the poem. So the poem is The Squirrel. Question 2. How did his tail look? Answer. His tail looked like a question mark. And answer of this question we can see in the picture also. How it looked like? It's looked like a question mark. Then 3. What color was his overcoat? His answer. His overcoat was grey. Question 4. What did he eat? Answer. He ate a nut. Question 5. What did he do to eat? Answer. He sat up straight to eat. Question 6. What did he like to do? Answer. He liked to tease and play. Question 7. Which word rhymes with grey? So, see the paragraph. Which word is rhymes with the grey? As we read, he wore a question mark for a tail and overcoat of grey. He sat up straight to eat a nut. He liked to tease and play. So the word is play. We have to find rhyming word of grey. So it's a play. Thereafter, in the next page, answer each questions briefly. Question 1. What was the king's first question? So answer is, the first question of the king was, what is the right time to begin something? Then question 2. What was the king's second question? Answer. The second question of the king was, which people should he listen to? Then question 3. What was the king's third question? So answer is, the third question of the king was, what is the most important thing for him to do? Then question 4. Where did the hermit live? The hermit lived in a wood. So answer is, the hermit lived in a wood. Question 5. What clothes did the king wear when he went to the hermit? Answer. The king had worn ordinary clothes when he went to the hermit. Question 6. Where did the king leave his horse? Answer. The king left his horse with his bodyguard. Question 7. What was the hermit doing when the king reached there? So, answer is, the hermit was digging the ground in front of his hut when the king reached there. Question 8. What did the king do for the hermit? Answer. The king dug 2 beds for the hermit. Question 9. How did the king help the bearded man? Answer. The king washed and covered the wound of the bearded man with his handkerchief until the bleeding stopped. Then, question 10. Who was the bearded man? Answer. The bearded man was the enemy of the king. Question 11. Who had wounded the bearded man? So answer is the king's bodyguard had wounded the bearded man. Question 12. What made the king happy? Answer. The king was happy to have made peace with his enemy so easily and to have won him over as a friend. So students, for answer the following questions or the questions which related with the paragraph. For this, whenever the explanation of the chapter is going on, totally concentrate in that only. Pay attention. Just try to understand the chapter, the story, the poem properly, so that will make easy to answer the following questions. Then after, who says these words and to whom in the story? So 1. Let me take the spade and work in your place. So who said this word to whom? The king said to the hermit. Then 2. Now you rest and let me work. The hermit said to king. 3. Here comes someone running. Hermit said to the king. 4. I do not know you. The king said to the bearded man. 5. You do not know me, but I know you. The bearded man said to the king. 6. You have already been answered, hermit said to the king. So students, see, for such type of questions also, you have to pay attention with the story part, because in this, who said to whom? So for this, must clear with the story part. Then after, rewrite the underlined words correctly on the given spaces. So we have to write down correctly whatever the underlined words are given in the following paragraph, and downside blanks are given. We have to write down one by one. So first one, the king was very happy. So 1, spelling we have to correct it. HAPPY, happy, to have made peace. So next one is peace, 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 with his enemy. So easily is given EASILY, easily, and to have won him over as friend, FRIEND, friend. He not only forgave, so here forgave is written, we have to correct it, forgave, Forgave, forgave him, but said he would send his servants, 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 and his own doctor, doctor, to look after him, and he promised, promised to give back the money, the man his property, property. So in this, whatever the words underlined, it's not correct spelling. We have to write down correct word in the given blanks. So student, up to this in this video, we will meet in the next and continue with further exercise of unit 1 from the workbook. You do revision whatever we completed. Just go with it. We will meet in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself. Stay at your home. Stay safe. Do little bit study. We will meet in the next video. Thank you. Goodbye.